What's good, YouTube? It's KB with Just Do Boxing, back with another video. And with that much not going on in boxing right now, it's a little dry, but I'm still trying to continuously put out content to let y'all know I'm taking this very seriously. So try to give y'all the best possible content I can provide at this stage, and hopefully y'all rock with it. So for this video, I wanted to get my thoughts on an Instagram post that Jermall Hitman Charlo made, a few hours back. He said, he posted a picture in his IG story saying biggest super middleweight in the world, and that got, it got the people talking a little bit, and wondering. The big question is, by him saying that in that pic, is he saying that he's moving up to 168? Is this Jermall Charlo announcing his move to 168 is the question. So I just thought I'd get my thoughts on it. I think it's interesting that he said that, because as we know, he campaigns at 160 pounds. That's middleweight. He has the WBC strap as well. And he held the IBF title at 154. Some years back. And since winning the WBC title at 160, I believe he defended it, 3 times. So if he's announcing his move up, this will be a very interesting time to do it, seeing as that, it seems like Triple G won't get in the ring with him, or they're never put moves together to make that fight happen. And as we know, Canelo jumped out of that weight class, and he just recently became undisputed at 168 super middleweight, but then also announced that he'll be making the jump up to cruiserweight. So that leaves Canelo out of the picture for 160 or 168, and with Triple G not seeming to want to get in the ring, at 168 seems like a good move. It's exciting simply because of the potential fights that we could get up there, and one being between Caleb Plant, even though he's coming off his first loss of his career to Canelo Alvarez. It's still a good fight, and it's an interesting style matchup. It's a fight that I've been hearing a little bit of buzz about, so it's something I think people will watch and definitely support for sure. And then you also have dangerous David Benavidez that campaigns at 168, and he's been adamant about what he'd do to Charlo if they were to fight, saying how he would definitely stop him, especially after he's seen Charlo's performance in his last fight against Juan Montiel back in June 19th, better known as Juneteenth, where Charlo won a unanimous decision, but it was a tough fight. Where some people being overly critical, saying Charlo lost and things like that. And I think that's BS. If you know how to watch boxing and you understand what you're looking at, you would have known that, he just had a guy in there that was tough. He didn't want to lay down. I think he'd been knocked out once before earlier in his career, but that don't mean automatically that Charlo was going to get the knockout. He buzzed Montiel several times throughout the fight, buckled him as well. He just had a guy in front of him that just wasn't coming for a paycheck. He wasn't coming to lay down. And I think a lot of times when certain fans see certain fighters fight and they have a close fight, they mistake that for them losing because they don't knock them out or they don't win as convincingly as they normally don't. Maybe the fight was more competitive than what you used to seeing, so automatically you say, oh well, Charlo lost and things like that. And I don't believe that to be the case. I believe the judges got it right. It was a unanimous decision. It was a tough fight. It was the first time Charlo, I believe, got cut, and I believe it was from a headbutt anyway, but he had to fight through that. A cut that ended up needing, I think, about 6 or 7 stitches or something like that. So, he fought through some adversity in that fight. Maybe some people don't see it that way, but I know how to watch a fight, from from the beginning to the end, and I understand what I'm watching. So he had a tough and competitive fight, but he definitely won. Unanimous decision. But, you know, to get back on the point of this video, you know, with him moving to 168, like I said, some great fights to be made there. You know, you even got the young, up and coming, you know, he's very young. You got David Morrell up there. Like I said, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. You got some, I'm pretty sure Andre, if given the opportunity, he wouldn't mind moving up to super middleweight to face Charlo as well. So I think that's what makes the move that much more exciting, because I don't think it's too far where Andre wouldn't be willing to go. And as we all know, he's been calling for these big fights for the longest. And as I'm just hopeful that he'll get these big fights come 2022 this year. You know what I'm saying? Because he deserves it, you know. And I think it's time for Charlo to, you know, quiet some of these fans and fight one of these top dogs and do what we know he's capable of doing, and win impressively. But fights against Caleb Plant or David Benavidez or any of the top guys at 168 won't be no easy task, you know. But Charlo, I think he has more than enough skill, you know what I mean, and power to compete with anybody at 168. So, you know, it's just going to be interesting to see if he actually moves up. Like I said, he made a post saying biggest super middleweight in the world. So what else could that mean? Maybe he's planning on moving to 168 and dominating up there and making a legacy for himself at 68, you know. So, you know, maybe that's what we're going to get. I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on that, because I felt like it was something that was worth a discussion, you know what I'm saying? And Charlo still being undefeated, 32-0, 22 KOs, you know what I mean, 31 years of age. I mean, he ain't getting no younger. So I know the way he's been talking, it sounds like he's ready to make these big legacy fights. And we all know David Benavidez and Charlo been on record trash talking each other, you know, saying they'll knock each other out, and people questioning if Charlo is actually serious about ever facing David Benavidez. And you know, I can understand the criticism to some degree, but I think sometimes people are overly critical of Jermall Charlo and his brother Jermall. So, you know, I think that's just the position that they're in, and I think that's just a testament to how good they are, because people expect a lot from those guys. And, you know, from what I've heard lately, you know, Jermall is earning people's respect the hard way. Like I say, he's taking a tough fight after tough fight, and he's basically one fight away from unifying. You know what I mean? Not basically, he is one win against Castano away from becoming undisputed, should I say that. 154. So I know that's something he's definitely looking to do. But back to his brother Jermall, hopefully, you know, this is what he's planning to do, move to 168. I don't want to report it as a definite and it don't happen, but I just came across the post a little while ago, and I thought, you know, it was worth a discussion. Like I said, because there's some great fights to be made at 168, and Charlo against any top dog at 60 or 168 is going to be very exciting. So hopefully we get that, and you know, got to start the year off strong. Hopefully we get one of these big fights in the first quarter of this year, you know. But it's my thoughts on the matter. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, get in that comment section. Let me know if there's any fights or any topics y'all want me to tackle or discuss. You know what I mean? And get in that comment section as always, and let me know if I gave Jermall Hitman Charlo his just due, because that's what I like to do over here, just do boxing. Until the next one, I'm out. Peace.